Good morning, guys, and welcome back to our channel. Join me today as I take on the challenge of opening a bakery in paradise while balancing the crazy life of a working mom. Have you ever dreamed of opening your own bakery in paradise? Well, that has been my dream for a while now. I remember during the pandemic time, I already tried to offer some bread, pastries, but at that time, nobody had much budget, right? So it didn't really work. Plus, we are in the Philippines, and the kind of bread I offer is not what Filipinos are usually used to eat. So it will take a while to get known, but I take the challenge. And actually, today, I bring you in my kitchen and I'm trying to reorganize my schedule. As a working mom, I need to balance between my baking, my kids, the housework. So it's actually 4:20 a.m. And as a baker now, I need to wake up early so I can offer delicious fresh bread in the morning. And it allows me to have this time to do my bakings while my kids are still sleeping. Although my husband is helping me a lot, but he also needs to work, right? Start connecting the water pipe down in the stockroom so we can move our washing machine. And there is also painting to finishing inside here. We're gonna paint the ground and all the little things that needs to be done. Also the garden. So much better. I'm gonna try this. So yeah, in this video, I want to tackle the challenges that I'm facing opening a micro bakery here in Busuanga, Palawan, Philippines, and starting to get some orders. So needing to be organized a certain way that we can actually do all what we have to do because apart my banking, I also need to advertise, to do some editing, posting. Most of my advertising will be on social media. I need to create the menu and start prospecting around. You start a new business, you are the one who's gonna manage all of that, right? Also, as I just said, Filipinos are not really into French bread. I also need to continue innovating, creating new recipes that can touch my customers. But as per now, to be honest, most of my customers are foreigners around because as we are in a touristic place, right? We have some foreigners around. I'm also trying to work with the charter to provide bread for the trip. So actually, since we are moved in the new house, I've been trying cooking new recipe. I've started to do sourdough bread. So this is Gasta, my sourdough starter. So it has been a lot of tasting, getting familiar with the oven because it's been a long time I didn't use it. And as it's charcoal oven, it's a bit different. You cannot just turn a button to adjust the temperature. You really need to be there, adding charcoal, opening the door if it's too hot. Like you really need to be there to watch the cooking. For now, what has been a bit challenging for me is, yeah, to make it hot enough. So I still need to adjust because when you put your bread, it really needs to be the right temperature, high temperature. The bread is cooking fast. And the best for the bread is that at the beginning, the temperature is high and then it will just go a little bit down while it's cooking. So this is something that I'm still practicing. For example, right now I am doing gluten-free bread because I got some orders and it's the second time no, it's the third time I'm doing it. First time it ends up well. Second time it didn't because I didn't really follow the instructions. So what I did last night is I took my recipe back. I write everything again, the following process, so I can succeed. And while this is resting, I'm gonna start preparing my baguettes. And actually, I already have sourdough bread resting in the fridge. So this morning, that's gonna be my objectives: baking gluten-free bread, baguettes, sourdough bread. Also do some island pastry. I didn't get really order for that, but I think my kids will love it. That's the plan for this morning. Because the thing is also when you have a charcoal oven, it's when you start to turn on the charcoal, it's better you have um, different stuff to cook. Otherwise, it's such a waste all the charcoal you put inside. And usually, what I do first is like I bake the bread because temperature is really high, and then I finish by the pastry or the sweets because temperature needs to be a little bit down. I'm gonna cook first sourdough bread, baguettes, gluten-free bread,
and my pastry. And if I am doing cakes or muffins, it's all the time at the end because the temperature needs to be lower, like about 180 degrees. So as I'm trying to reorganize myself, I've actually wake up at 3:30 a.m. this morning to be able to start my bread. And then now we're gonna cook the baguette because the thing also with the bread, it needs to rise at least for, I would say, about 2 hours using yeast. While sourdough, it's all another journey. Actually, I have four sourdough bread rising in the fridge, and I've started the process already yesterday in the morning. When you're doing a sourdough, the first thing you know is to activate the starter. So you need to feed your starter. For the starter to be fully activated, it takes about 4 hours to 5 hours. Then once it's activated, you can incorporate it in your dough. You need to fold the dough like 4 times every 30 minutes. So this take about 2 hours. You need to rise your dough for about 4 to 5 to 6 hours, depending, until the dough actually double in size. And once you do that, then you start shaping your bread and putting in a banneton and rise it again until it double in size. It was late evening. I just put in the fridge last night. So the process, the rising process is slowing down with the coldness of the fridge, and it allows me to just let the night go through and come back at it in the morning. But I think I find the right scheduling for the sourdough because it allows me to have a fresh bread in the morning, and that's what we want, right? Breakfast with some freshly just warm bread. So nice. So I'm gonna start to do this baguette because it's gonna need the rice.
making a cake. So mixing all the ingredients together now that the yeast is activated, and we're gonna knead the dough for 10 minutes. So opening a new bakery, it's whole a new challenge. Even though I'm used to be the head of the kitchen because when I was in Bali Huts, I was managing the place, right? But I was also cooking for the guests. I don't consider myself as a chef. I am a cook. I'm still learning every day. And that was really stressful for me back then. That was my first experience in the kitchen. But now, when you're opening your own business, it's a whole new thing. First thing you need to do, right, is to source your ingredients. And knowing that we are living in Busuanga, Palawan, Philippines, a really circulated place, it's sometimes kind of hard. So, of course, everything I can find around, I'm happy with it. But Regarding baking, it's not much I can find around. So I'm sourcing my flour in Koran. So that's why I needed to stock up. The flour is like perishable goods and you can have like bugs going in the flour. So what I did first, I invest in two glass jar where I can fit about 3 kilo of flour. And then I also bought vacuum sealer where I can just portion my flour. Like I usually do 1 kilo bags and vacuum seal it to make sure that keep the flour until I'm gonna use it. We are in the open kitchen, so I really need to make sure the food is safe, vacuum seals, protected in a storage. Actually, I found this way to store the flour. There's only one store you can find whole wheat flour in Koran, which is Sima, and they don't have it all the time, and they only sell it by bags of 10 kilos. So that's where my vacuum sealer is very useful. Apart from that, in some kind of bread, I use seeds. So for the seeds, I just order online, Lazada. Regarding the pastry and sweets, we will need butter. Although I'm trying to avoid as much as I can, so trying to find the healthy and highland friendly recipe using local ingredients. So in a lot of my pastry, I use bananas. It can replace both sugar and butter. So it's actually good, but sometimes, of course, I need a little bit of butter. So same, sourcing in Coron. Cannot buy butter online, right? It will melt in this tropical warm country. Butter out of the fridge doesn't last for too long. Chocolate chips, because I eat chocolate chips in my pastry. Source it in Coron. Actually, there is one small shop, very good for bakers in a gateway near the market. They are reasonable price, like in terms of flour. For example, if I buy in Conception, if I can find, and most of the time they don't have bread flour, but it's like maybe 30% more the price. So when I'm selling a bread about 100 to 200 pesos, if you raise the price of the flour by 30%, then your pricing and costing is just messed up. So it's also something that is challenging when you're opening a bakery is that you have to control your cost. And of course, so as for now, we don't have a nanny for the kids. Liam is going in the daycare, which is in the morning from 8 to 9. And Gia is just staying here. So yeah, one of the challenge also opening bakery as a working mom is to be able to balance your time between your kids, your actual bakery, your marketing and advertising and prospecting. So that's why I'm trying a new schedule this week. I'm gonna bake early in the morning, and then after when the kids wake up, maybe they're gonna have fresh bread also and fresh pastry too breakfast, so this is a good thing. And after I can save some times for taking care of my kids, taking care of my house. So it's a whole new scheduling adjustment. It has been everything new since we moved in. First, we changed our house. Second, starting to settle a new business, and then also the kids get a new routine. I'm gonna cover this bread and let it rise. It's gonna take about 2 hours. So, and now I'm gonna turn on the oven because the first thing I'm gonna bake is sourdough bread. gonna be a whole new challenge that I don't have gas. How can I turn on the oven? I need to do the old way. Yesterday I told my husband, please can you buy charcoal because last time I did that, I wake up early. I didn't have charcoal. So now I have charcoal, but I don't have gas. Resilience. We're gonna do that. Okay, the oven is on. It took maybe 1 hour, but it's on. I don't know if you can see the smoke, so I'm gonna close it. And then we're gonna put our Dutch oven inside so it can get warm. And we also have a little monkey, which is away. Say hi. And hungry, and we don't have nothing ready. What we gonna eat? Let's try to find something. With a bit of perseverance, you can succeed in any. Oven is hot, and we're gonna put our bread inside. So this is what we call the challenge of being a working mom, trying to open a micro bakery. So we're gonna let it cover for 20 minutes, and it's gonna cook another 20 minutes. Opening a bakery as a working mom, it's a bit of a challenge. First challenge was, of course, to find the right recipe for our bread and practicing with our brick oven, which is not easy to manipulate. I really had a hard time this morning to turn on the oven. Maybe it took about 1 hour, but with a little bit of perseverance, we succeed on that. Our bread is gonna be cooked. Hopefully, I hope it's gonna turn out good. You're gonna see at the end of the video. As a working mom, you need to schedule your time. So that's why as a baker also, I want to start early in the morning when the kids are still sleeping so I can do most of the work at that time, and then after we try to manage. And then as we're living in a circulated island, we have some bit of a challenge in terms of sourcing our products. Most of the time Coron, and sometimes I really need to order online because there are specific ingredients that I really cannot find anywhere here. But as much as I can, I'm trying to find ingredients around. What I'm thinking for the bread and for the nuts, maybe I can use some cashew. But bread with cashew, I don't know. I never tried. Why not? We have actually a nice factory here called Palawan Cashew Company. So actually, I have already started to sell some bread for takeout and delivery, and then eventually in the future people they can come here when everything is finished. For now, that's how we're gonna work takeout and delivery. So if you're around Buswanga and you like to have some sourdough bread on or baguette, freshly cooked bread, don't hesitate to ring the bell and contact me. I can bake for you. It's perseverance, hard work, and most importantly, passion on what you're doing, you can succeed. And of course, there are going to be some challenges. Of course, there are going to be some failures. You just need to adjust and give a bit of a try, and then you find a way. There's always a way. In anything you're doing, the most important is that you love what you're doing and you're passionate about it. Let me know in the comment what's your dream of entrepreneurship, or if you had some struggle in starting a business and how you overpass all of these challenges. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you very much for watching the video. Until next time, keep doing what you are passionate by.
And look at that. This is our sourdough bread. I'm so happy because it's already sold out. Mama. And that's the baguettes. And look at that. Wow. This is nice. And then now it's 10:30 in the morning and we have all of this baked.